Hi, Miss Marlene. We're from Group 1. We have done our project called COVID Tracing System, represented by me, Alvin Liew Tze Lo, Nikko Leo, Raymond, Phang, and Nurliyana. So this is our table of content conceived by project scope. Second one is contribution of each member. Third one is the design of the program. Fourth is enhancements, and lastly is program presentations. So this is our project scope. For task 1, primary database. First, the system will be having 3 of the option to let the user select, which add user, view user, and assist. This system will run in specific way and include some of the function to complete this system. Anyway, the system start will show out the menu list of the option that has been mentioned. This will be using the case function to do this step. Other case is when the user type the number out of the specific number, 1 of 3, will be asked to enter again the option in numbers. Select the system selection. Firstly is the add user. This option chooser will be required to store the user information, which is the user ID, name, gender, date of birth, comorbidity, and vaccinator status. Each of the information entered into input will be specified and correctly, which is the user ID must enter in numbers and not over the 4 digits, and other requirements. If not, the system will ask to enter again and tell the user where it's wrong. To make sure the system will keep validating the specific requirement update our system criteria. After information will enter and will show the information entered by the user and ask for the confirmation, or else the user can edit it. Last is asking user do they wish to add a new user or not. If yes, can add new information or not will access to the menu. Also, all the information will be stored in a specific text file so that can be shared with others. The second one is about the view user. In this option, the view user information will ask for enter their username and pass for login the system before can check the user information. Also, all the information can be edited if need, including updating the infection status and the update vaccinator status. Besides, the user can view their information such as view the list of COVID-19 patients, view the list of high-risk locations, and view vaccinator information. The feature have been described below the next slide. For task 2, tracing module. Update the infection status. Their previous location visited and checked by the high risk or not can be updated. Second one is update the vaccinator status. This including the decision, the status of the user from the fixed table and assigning each of the patient's status risk. Third one is view the list of COVID-19 patients. System will list of the positive patient including the percentage. Mean is generating and analyzing the information and assign to a list of view. Fourthly is the view the list of the high-risk location. All the high-risk location and the number of COVID visitor from the high to low. View the vaccinators information. It will automatically generate and assign the total of the vaccinated and unvaccinated user to our list. Lastly is exit. Quit the system safely. For this, the contribution of each member. For task 1, they have been listed below between our contributions, and this is for task 2.
Thank you for Alvin presenting, and now I will presenting about the flowchart. And first, here's the task 1 flowchart. And while the system is start, and they will print out option 1, 2, 3 for user to choose. For the option 1 is ask for the user to enter the information list inside here, and each of it have the validation. So if the information are with specific character or number, and it will save the information into the text file. If not, it will ask the user to enter again. And then for the second option is the view user, and the view user is let the user to enter the user ID or the name to read, and then the system will start reading the information from the text file, which is the information that had been stored inside the text file, so it will be output to the display screen. The last one is the assist option, and the system will end it safely. Here are the flowchart that combined with the task 1 and the task 2, and here's the option 3, and option 4 is to update the infection status and the vaccination status, and the user can type their information. If there has a specific character or the number, it will save the information into the text file. If not, it will ask for the enter again. And then the option 5, 6, and 7, it will searching the information from the recorded text file. And at the first one here, it is view the list of COVID-19 patients and the high-risk location, and also the vaccination information. Each of them having the different function, which is the user are choosing the option 5, and it will calculating the positive patient and demographic analysis and then display out. Or the user choose the option 6, it will calculate the high-risk location and the number of visitor, and then output to the display. And the last one is to view the information option. The system will calculate the percentage of vaccination status and then display out. And lastly is ask the user if they want to leave to the menu or not. If yes, they can back to the menu and end this system. Now is the enhancement that we have been added into our system. Now, inside the user ID, when the first user ID is entered in and saved into the text file, and it will pop up, this is the first user. Now is the second enhancement, which is the name validation with number detector. If the user are enter his name with the numbers, and the user to enter again.
Thank you, Nikko, for the previous presentation. So now I am Liana and will be presenting on the program presentation. So firstly, in this slide here, you can see is the COVID-19 database that we did, and this is the main menu. So next, I will move on to the first option, which is add user. Okay, so for this section, which is add user, the program will prompt the user to key in their information when the user has entered the first option, which is number 1. So they will be asked to enter their user ID, name, gender, and such. And on the left here, you can see that the information that the user has entered is recorded and saved inside a user database text file. And this information are all separated by commas. Okay, so for this next slide is the view user option. So when the user entered the view user option, they will be brought to this page where the program asks them to enter their ID or name in order to view their information that they have entered. So on the left is when the user has entered their user ID, and on the right is when the user has entered their name in order to display the information that they have entered. So next and the last one would be update infection status. Okay, so this is the last slide for me, which is update infection status. So here you can see that the user can update their infection status by also entering either their ID number or their name. So in the first example, you see that this user is trying to change their infection status from positive to negative. So what the program does is that after the user enters their updates their infection status, it will also update it in the database, which is a text file where the information has been stored. So here you can see that the user's information regarding the infection status is already changed from P and infected to negative and low risk. And for the next example here is when the user is trying to update their infection status from negative to positive. So when that happens, what the system does is that the system will then prompt the user to enter their last visited location when the user is trying to update their infection status to positive. And after that, when the user has entered their last visited location, the system will then take that into account and then store all of the information inside this new text file, which is called a high-risk location. So here you can see that the last visited location for this particular user is city 1, and since this location has not existed inside this database, the system will add it in. But if the user has entered a location that has already existed, for example, the spring, the system will only then increase the number of visitors to 1. So in this example, you can see that the spring has 2 visitors. So if this user has entered the spring, the number of visitors will then increase to 3. Okay, that's it from me, and now I give it to Alvin.
Thank you, Liana. Now I will continue to present the update vaccinator status. The user chosen option 4 will update the vaccinator status from no to yes. There will be before and after listed below here. So now I'll pass my mic to Nikko.
Thank you to Alvin Liew. And here's the option 5, which is view the list of COVID-19 patient. And the system will automatically analyze the positive patient in percentage and their out information.
Thank you, Nikko. I am Raymond. I would like to talk about the view the list of high risk location. This is the information that has been stored in the high risk location file, and the first column here is the location ID, second is location name, and third is the number of visitors. When the user enters 6 on the menu, it will display the high risk location name and the number of visitors. The first location, which is the Viva City, which has 2 numbers of visitor visit, and the second location is the Spring, which is 2 number of visitors. Next is the view vaccination information. When the user enters 7 on the menu, the user can view the vaccination information. The total vaccinated and unvaccinated users is counting the last 3rd letter in each line in the file, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And second one is the total vaccinated users. Is counting the Y in each line in the last 3rd letter, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The total unvaccinated users are counting the letter N, which is only 1 in this file. The percentage of vaccinated users is calculated by 5 divided by 6 and multiply 100, which is 83 and 3.3333%. The percentage of unvaccinated users is counting by 1 divided by 6 multiply 100 and get the 60.667%. The last function is the quick function. When the user enters add in the main menu, the whole program and display thank you very much and stay safe. That's all for our presentation. Thank you.